Tired of mundane tales and in dire need of a thrilling, sleep-disrupting experience? Prepare to bid adieu to peaceful slumber, for the Craigslist horror stories that await you are so bone-chilling they'll grip you tight until dawn breaks. Late one evening, Sarah, a struggling college student, desperately searched for a way to make ends meet. As she scrolled through Craigslist, a particular ad caught her attention. It offered a high-paying gig for a private modelling session. Tempted by the promise of easy money, she decided to inquire further. The response came swiftly. A reply from a man named Mr. Collins. He provided an address and requested that Sarah meet him at a dimly lit, run-down studio located in a secluded part of town. Despite feeling a bit of unease, Sarah suppressed her instincts and agreed to the arrangement, determined to seize the opportunity. Upon arriving at the studio, Sarah's initial unease morphed into a deep sense of discomfort. The building's exterior exuded an eerie atmosphere, its walls stained with age and neglect. The studio itself was dimly lit, casting long shadows that danced ominously in the corners. Mr. Collins, a middle-aged man with a cold demeanour, greeted Sarah at the entrance. His eyes seemed to hold a glint of something unsettling, sending shivers down her spine. Suppressing her unease, she followed him inside, hopeful that this endeavour would alleviate her financial burdens. Once inside the studio, Sarah's senses heightened. The heavy scent of chemicals hung in the air, mingling with the damp mildew that permeated the space. She noticed the absence of any other staff or models, amplifying her growing unease. But, driven by her need for money, she dismissed her concerns and pressed forward. Mr. Collins instructed Sarah to change into various outfits, providing her with garments that seemed overly revealing and inappropriate for a typical modelling session. Initially hesitant, she complied, hoping it would lead to the promised payment. As the session progressed, however, Mr. Collins' request became increasingly uncomfortable and invasive, crossing the boundaries of professionalism. With each passing moment, Sarah's unease transformed into a deep-seated fear. The photographer's compliments morphed into disturbing remarks about her appearance, and his behaviour turned more aggressive. She realised too late that the situation had taken a sinister turn, one far beyond what she had anticipated. A surge of panic overcame Sarah, and she decided it was time to leave. But as she headed toward the exit, she discovered the door had been locked from the outside. Dread coursed through her veins as the reality of the situation sank in. The photographer's intentions were not about photography. They were about control and something far more sinister. Fear and desperation gripped Sarah as she desperately searched for an escape route. Her heart pounded in her chest as she scanned the room, desperately seeking anything that could aid her in breaking free from this nightmare. Spotting a heavy tripod in the corner, she made a sudden decision to fight back, knowing that her survival depended on it. Summoning every ounce of strength and courage, Sarah launched herself at Mr. Collins. Using the tripod as a weapon, she struck him with all her might, aiming for any vulnerable spot she could find. The element of surprise worked in her favour, momentarily disorientating her assailant. In the chaos that ensued, Sarah fought tooth and nail, battling against her captor's strength and his relentless determination. The room became a battlefield, the struggle intensifying with every passing second. Blood trickled from wounds on both sides as they fought for control. Miraculously, Sarah managed to land the decisive blow, momentarily incapacitating Mr. Collins. Seizing the opportunity, she raced toward the door, her heart pounding with a mixture of terror and hope. The adrenaline fueled her desperate escape, pushing her beyond her physical limits. As she burst through the studio door, a wave of relief washed over Sarah, mingled with the realization that she'd narrowly escaped a horrific fate. She ran as fast as her trembling legs would carry her, not looking back until she was safely away from that dark, oppressive place. Days later, Sarah gathered the courage to report the incident to the authorities, sharing every detail of her harrowing experience. The investigation that followed uncovered a long history of Mr. Collins's predatory activities. He had used the facade of photography to lure countless unsuspecting victims into his sadistic clutches. Thanks to Sarah's bravery and strength, justice was served, and he would never again prey upon innocent souls. But the memory of that night would forever haunt Sarah, a constant reminder of the evil that lurks behind seemingly harmless opportunities. She emerged from the experience scarred, but determined to reclaim her life, vowing to raise awareness about the dangers that lurk within the shadows of online platforms. After weeks of fruitless job searching, Alex's desperation grew. Hope flickered in her heart when she stumbled upon a Craigslist ad for a well-paying, remote-positioned, reputable company. Eager to secure employment, she submitted her resume, held her breath, hoping for a positive response. Days later, an email arrived in Alex's inbox. The subject line read, "Congratulations, you've been selected." A surge of relief washed over her as she eagerly opened the email. It was from a company named Ambrosia Solutions, claiming to have reviewed her resume and offering Alex the position. The email was signed by a supposed hiring manager named Mr. Donovan. An air of professionalism pervaded the email, but as Alex read further, she couldn't shake a lingering sense of unease. Mr. Donovan requested a virtual interview to discuss the role further and gave some additional information. The requested details included personal information beyond what was necessary for the job, an unsettling request that raised red flags in Alex's mind. However, enticed by the prospect of a stable job and the urgent need for income, Alex's apprehensions were temporarily muted. She agreed to the interview, arranging a video call with Mr. Donovan at the specified time. The video call began innocently enough, with Mr. Donovan asking questions about Alex's qualifications and work experience. But as the conversation progressed, Alex couldn't shake the nagging feeling that something was amiss. Mr. Donovan's tone seemed overly invasive, probing into her personal life with unnecessary curiosity. Then came the moment when the conversation took a dark turn. Mr. Donovan casually asked for Alex's social security number, claiming it was standard practice for background checks. Panic surged within Alex's chest as she realized the gravity of the situation. She was being targeted by an identity thief. Summoning all their composure, Alex hesitated before refusing to provide her social security number. She questioned the legitimacy of such a request, expressing concerns about the security of her personal information. Mr. Donovan's demeanor changed in an instant, his friendly facade giving way to veiled threats and attempts at coercion. Growing more alarmed, Alex ended the call, her mind racing with fear and uncertainty. Her intuition had saved Alex from falling into the clutches of a devious criminal, but the battle to protect her identity had only just begun. In the days that followed, Alex's life spiraled into chaos. Bank accounts were drained, credit cards maxed out, and unfamiliar loans appeared in her name. Her once stable financial standing crumbled beneath the weight of the stolen identity, leaving Alex teetering on the cliff of ruin. Determined to reclaim her life and bring the identity thief to justice, Alex embarked on a journey of resilience and persistence. Alex reported the incident to the authorities, providing all the evidence and information she'd gathered. However, the road to resolution was difficult, with layers of bureaucratic red tape and the ever-present fear of further harm. Through unwavering determination and the support of friends and family, Alex slowly pieced her life back together. She changed passwords, implemented additional security measures, and painstakingly rebuilt her financial stability. But the scars of the identity theft would forever remain, a constant reminder of the vulnerability that accompanies the digital age. Buckle up for Story 3, but hold on tight. If you're having a blast with this video and hunger for more awesomeness, hop on the subscribe train to my channel. Trust me, you won't want to miss this wild ride ahead. In search of an affordable apartment, Jenny scoured Craigslist listings, hoping to find a place that would offer solace after a long day's work. Her weary eyes locked onto a promising advertisement, an ad for a spacious room in a seemingly friendly and safe neighbourhood. Intrigued, she reached out to the current tenant, Emily, to schedule a visit and discuss the details. Emily's cheerful demeanour on the phone reassured Jenny as she arrived at the apartment for the viewing. The building exterior exuded a welcoming charm, nestled among well-maintained houses and lush greenery. She couldn't help but feel a sense of relief, believing she'd stumbled upon an oasis in the midst of the chaotic housing market. As Jenny stepped inside the apartment, a strange chill tingled along her spine. The atmosphere inside seemed to shift, an almost palpable shift that left her on edge. Suppressing her unease, she exchanged pleasantries with Emily, who showcased the apartment with an air of enthusiasm, highlighting the benefits of living there. Days turned into weeks, and Jenny settled into her new living arrangement. At first, everything seems fine, a harmonious coexistence with a seemingly friendly roommate. But as time passed, strange occurrences began to unfold, gradually unraveling the peaceful facade. Objects within the apartment would mysteriously move or disappear altogether. Jenny would wake in the middle of the night to eerie sounds echoing through the darkness. A subtle whisper, a creaking floorboard, or the faint rustling of unseen movement. Sleep-deprived and on edge, she couldn't shake the constant feeling of being watched, her every move monitored by an unseen presence. Doubts gnawed at Jenny's sanity as she tried to rationalize the inexplicable. She questioned her own perception, wondering if she was imagining the sinister undercurrents that seemed to lurk within the apartment's walls. But as the occurrences escalated, it became impossible to deny the chilling reality that something was terribly wrong. One day, while cleaning her room, Jenny's hand brushed against the wall, causing a panel to shift slightly. Intrigued by the unexpected discovery, she pushed it further, revealing a hidden compartment within the closet, a secret space unbeknown to her until that moment. Inside the concealed compartment, Jenny found a collection of newspaper clippings and photographs, each one depicting crimes, missing persons cases, and disturbing events, all with eerie connections to Emily. Her blood ran cold as the pieces fell into place, painting a horrifying portrait of her seemingly innocent roommate. Fear tightened its grip on Jenny's heart as she realized the truth. Emily was not the friendly roommate she appeared to be. She was harboring a dark secret, one that involved violent acts or possibly even worse. Determined to protect herself and seek justice for the victims, Jenny knew she had to act swiftly. Quickly gathering her belongings, Jenny mustered the courage to confront Emily. As she revealed her discovery, the mask of innocence shattered, replaced by a cold, calculating gaze. Emily's true nature was laid bare, a predator hiding in plain sight. With a chilling smile, Emily lunged at Jenny, revealing a sadistic side that Jenny had only glimpsed in her nightmares. A terrifying struggle ensued, the two women locked in a desperate battle for survival. Jenny fought with every ounce of strength, driven by a primal instinct to protect herself and expose the evil that lurked within these walls. In a stroke of luck, Jenny managed to break free from Emily's grasp, unleashing a scream that pierced the air. Adrenaline surged through her veins as she sprinted toward the exit, her mind clouded with fear and determination, and with trembling hands, she reached for her phone and dialed emergency services, relaying the horrific events that had unfolded. As the authorities arrived, they apprehended Emily, bringing an end to her reign of terror. The investigation that followed revealed a gruesome history, connecting her to a series of unsolved crimes and victims who had fallen prey to her sadistic desires. Haunted by the experience, Jenny struggled to rebuild her life, grappling with the trauma that had permanently etched itself into her psyche. She sought therapy and the support of loved ones, gradually piecing together the fragments of her shattered existence. Though scarred, she emerged from the ordeal with a newfound strength and a determination to bring awareness to the monsters that hide beneath the guise of ordinary faces. Prepare yourself for a spine-chilling revelation, for there exists a ghastly entity far more bone-chilling than the tales you've just witnessed. Brace yourself, dear viewer, for a glimpse into the abyss of a life bereft of our bewitching videos, where the shadows grow darker and the eerie silence devours your very soul.